A quick recap of the changes on this week's global app. We have Money Realm improvements. They are going to be adding Money Realm 1 hour on, 1 hour off, 1 hour on, constantly. So you can potentially grind up to 11 hours per day if you don't sleep in Money Realm. So basically every second hour it will recharge for a new hour of Money Realm. Cool thing about this is if you wait half an hour, then you can grind half an hour money. So it doesn't have to be a full hour on, full off. You can also say, let's say you have 2 hours of playing BDO today and you want to go out and grind. You can do 1 hour Money Realm. Then you can spend half an hour doing something else or grinding regularly. And then you can go and spend your last half an hour of the day in the Money Realm. So you can actually utilize this a lot more and not have to go the full hours. Next up is a huge update already. The Noble Land. They talked about this as the new expansion, the new region coming out south of Medaya. It's going to be a super in-game spot. Highest value in the game they talk about here. We'll see how it actually plays out. But it's already on Global Lab today. They did say they were planning to release this in August and then further add 2 grind spots to it in September and October. And they reiterated that today. They confirmed that's still the plan. So this spot here will have 2 grind spots. They will have the City of the Dead, which is going to be a 310, 380 spot. And they're going to have the Tonguebread Ruins, which is slated to be a 320, 410 spot. Now, the only 2 items that are confirmed for these areas are the new Origin of Dark Hunger, and there will also be an Essence of the Hunger where you need 4 of these to make the Dark Hunger. The Dark Hunger is an item that you can use to increase Failstacks all the way up to 300. We don't currently know the price of these items, but PA are expecting these 2 grind spots to be really high value and really hard to grind. So we should expect them to be kind of good value as well. As you can see here, it's a chart of the enhancing Failstacks you get depending on the Failstack you have, all the way up to a 300 stack. Further to note about these 2 new spots is that they are planning to make them a bandit zone. So currently, if you kill a player in the Valencia region in the desert, you get flagged as a bandit. That means that you do not, if you go red and go negative karma, you don't lose crystals if you die. Even if you're not red, if you have the bandit debuff, if you die with that, you get sent to jail. And then you have to escape jail. It takes some time. It can take a couple of minutes before you can then go out and continue with what you're doing. So they're planning on making these 2 new spots, an entire zone potentially, a bandit zone. So there will be potential for PvP, but also punishment if you die being a bandit. So you can defend your grind spot without having to worry about going negative karma and potentially losing your own crystals. If you die when you are bandit in negative karma, you don't lose crystals, you don't lose XP, you just go to jail and you can escape it later on. It also means that people looking to grief you, if they flag up on you and you die, they are bandit. And if you then rest and kill them, you send them to jail and you get them out of your hair for at least quite a while. So that's going to be really exciting. I'm super happy that they're adding that back and reusing it. They're also planning on removing the bandit debuff then from the Valencia Desert. It is more of a new player spot now, so it does make sense that they will remove that from the Arkman and History grind to make it less punishing for people killing you. To make it less punishing to grind there and not, like, so you don't have to worry about being killed. Sorry, I think I misspoke there. Right. So, aren't most griefers better geared than grind? Yes, exactly why it matters that this is the hardest grind spots in the game calendar. So if you are out grinding here, you are one of the most geared players in the game. So if somebody tries to grief you, they probably don't have more gear than you. And if they do, it's not by a whole lot, so you can at least defend yourself. Whereas the bandit debuff in the Valencia Desert, there are new people grinding there that do not have a lot of gear. So if somebody goes out to grief them and uses the bandit debuff to stay safe themselves, they can do that with no real penalty. So that's why they're looking to remove it from the lower, the entry level Valencia Desert, and now adding it to the turbo in-game spot. So if you go out and you become a bandit, well, you're probably going to be fighting people with a lot of gear doing it. Another item that they're adding to these 2 spots that we know about is the new treasure item, Laffy Bed Mountain's Improved Telescope. It's going to require 3 items. One of the items you get by turning in 3 of the Vodkin compass pieces. So the other 2 items we're going to assume drops in the 2 different grind spots that they are releasing as well. These are the only items we know about. We don't know about anything else or silver for trash or expected value. So far, this is the only thing we know about the new spots, but I'm really excited to see what else they're going to be cooking up. They're going to be adding 2 more new spots in September and October. And other than the 2 spots we just saw, the only thing we know about the other 2 spots is that they will include the Atos shoes, aka the Fallen Guard boots. They will be in that region, and that means we can expect to have the full Fallen Guard set in the game by October. That's of course assuming that we get this stuff relatively fast after Korea and that they keep to the schedule. Now, a quick note about this and why I'm actually super excited and hyped about this is they announced that there is not going to be a main questline for this new area. The new area, there will be a questline for the Atos shoes, the Fallen Guard boots, but there's not going to be a main questline associated with the new region. It's going to be basically a new area opening up with grind spots. So there's no real need for large localizations. There's not a huge questline. There's not dialogue, everything they need to translate and make it ready. So there's nothing keeping them from being able to release this region in the entire world almost instantly after. I'm still expecting Korea to get it a week before us, but then the following week, I expect this to be released globally. Fingers crossed. I really hope that that's what it's going to be, but there's going to be nothing really keeping them from doing them. And then they'll have a couple of months to work on the 2 other grind spots in the zone and getting the questline for the Atos shoes translated and localized. So super excited about this one here. It's way quicker and way cooler than I thought it was going to be. Really, really, really happy right now. Next up is the solo attraction improvements, some quality of life stuff that's going to make it faster and easier. They're also adding the Crocodile Stable treasure item. This item is one you can get if you have all 3 mythical horses, all 3 C10 horses. You can talk to the NPC in Grana, Mirandola, and you can show her the 3 horses and you can get this item. The way it's going to work, it looks like, is you have an actual item in your inventory. The character with that can use the 3 horses and change between them as you please, when you want, potentially even while riding them. And we think that you'll be able to put this in storage and take it out on another character, and then you would have the horses on that one. But we'll see exactly how it's going to work. Yeah, it's pretty damn cool. I was personally hoping that it was going to be like a family-wide thing. So you just had all your horses available on your entire family, but having it as an item that you could switch around in with your mates is way better than having to always put your horses into the stable and then take them out from the same stable on a character. This is way more convenient, 1,000 times easier, even if you are limited to moving the item into your inventory or your storage in the same region. So you probably won't be able to take it from, say, Hemisilvian region and then pop it out on the Dragon region. Next up is a huge quality of life, being able to open multiple boxes at once. For now, this is just for the node byproducts, but I expect that we'll see this being implemented in a lot of other ways when opening things in BDO. So you can now open as many of the bundles as you have in one click. No more spamming spacebar or RNGing. You just select how many you want to open, and boom, you open them all in one go. Absolutely amazing, great quality of life. Happy to see it. Finally, another huge quality of life. I cannot believe we finally have the technology. We have the technology, boys. Find my items improvements. You can now search. If you don't know this, you can go in on a city. There's a icon where you can search for items, and then you can use mates and take those items out. However, they're now adding something as simple as the Control F So you can click Control F and bring up the Find My Items function, so you can just instantly search. I can't believe we have this technology now. Absolutely huge, super happy to see it. Love it. They also made some Find My NPC improvements. They're gonna allow you to find the main NPCs in a city, like stable and blacksmith. Even if you haven't discovered the NPCs in the city, you can still then find them in your area and path towards them, which is great if you are trying to explore a new area for the first time and you need to repair or need something specific. You can way easier get them, even if you haven't discovered them and got knowledge on the characters. Next up is an enhancing guide being added. I'm really excited about this one and seeing how it is. They're putting me out of a job, but you know what, for this one here, I'm okay with it. They are adding an enhancement guide feature into the game to explain players how to actually use the enhancing system. And I can't wait to make a guide about how to use the in-game guide. But as you can see here, there's gonna show like the way the systems work, the upgrades, I'm sure it's gonna be explained. And with the added feature that we already have now, it's supposed to be an icon right here where you can see suggested Failstacks to use for any enhancement. I feel like this is a great step in the right direction of making it easier to get into the game for new players and learning about how the different system works. There's going to be a lot more information right there in the system itself, so you don't have to watch 7 guides to figure out how to click a button in the game. So I think that's awesome. Next up is just some changes to the visuals of the Debo earring. They already did this to the neck to match the belt. Not a big thing. And they are adding some summon locations to the lantern, so you easier can see where they're used. They're also adding a autopath icon for the dungeons, so you can right-click that and right to the entrance. I think that's perfect. I'm really happy to see that finally. And that's about it. There's a couple of bug fixes on classes, but it's just some bug fixes. It's nothing major. It's nice stuff, but it's not a big deal. The only thing that is sort of nice is, and like straight buffs, would be Lan getting an attack speed increase by 5% on Annihilator, and then also adding the 18% attack speed on Pendulum Kick. My understanding is it's a buff they already have, so this is a quality of life improvement, gonna make it a lot easier to just keep it up at all times. And that was it for Global Lab today. I'll see you in the next one.